Everybody, and want to welcome everyone here to our Heritage Advisory Committee meeting for the day. Nice to have everybody back here. And so going to call this meeting to order. And just as our mayor would normally do, we'll use our ceremonial Meaford 150th bell to kick things off. And so we're going to start this with a moment of reflection. If you can just bear with us just for a moment to think about the business at hand for today, please. Very good. Thank you very much for that. Next, is there any disclosure for pecuniary interest here at the table? And I'm seeing none. Just want to remind you if that ever does come up, just please speak up and we will deal with that accordingly. Moving on to the next item here on our agenda, public participation. I see that we do not have any presentations nor deputations. Now, I wanted to ask staff here, Denise, would this be a good opportunity to, if there are any kind of staff updates? I don't see it on the agenda here. I'm just not sure where that would fit, but this might be a good opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, we can do that now. So we have had three members resign from the committee. And so we would have an opportunity to fill those in January through our normal process. We open it up to the public to be filled. And people can apply, and we probably have other things. We're probably looking for new members for other committees as well. So if that would go through the normal process. So the clerk had just let me know what that was. I took a quick peek back at my notes, and we understand it would be in January, it would be posted.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So just so everybody listening, that would be for January. So we'll get those seats filled in the new year. Let's have a look here. So number 5 on our agenda is the approval of minutes, and hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at those. Do we have any, do I need a first and second for the approval? Okay, can I get a first and seconder for the minutes, please? So we have Nancy as a first. Can I get a seconder for that? Simon, thank you very much. Discussion, any questions or comments related to this? No? Okay, all in favor? Very good, that's carried. Thank you very much. Moving on to number 6 on our agenda, heritage permit applications. We do not have anything on that agenda for today. Number 7, items for information. We have HAC 2024-08, minor permit under delegated approval. And hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at this as well. Do we have any questions or comments? Now, Sue, do we have to have a first and second for this item? It's for informational purposes, right? Okay, wonderful. Thought so. Very good. Anybody? Yes, Jan, please go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, permit HAC 2024-05 that went, no, I'm sorry, wrong page. I'm very sorry. HER 07-2024, 6 Parker Street East. That delegated, it wasn't a delegated permit. It went to council for their approval, which is what we do. I recommended council. It didn't come to the committee. I'm just curious. I'd like clarification on the wording of that this one additional permit went directly to council due to the cancellation of the Heritage Advisory Meeting in October. Now, I wasn't aware we were disbanded. I thought the meeting that was canceled was because there was no quorum. But I just wondered, Mr. Chairman, can you clarify that? Were we disbanded in October? Is this a transitionary situation to January? I mean, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't turn it on, did I?
Just keep going.
Okay.
Well, you can turn it on now, Janet. We'll just pick it.
Very sorry, people. I forgot my machine. Is this are we transitionary to January for a new council, or like if we were disbanded? I'm sorry, I was not aware we were disbanded in October. I really thought that meeting was a quorum issue and that we didn't have enough people at that meeting that was canceled. So explanation, please, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely. I'll turn that over to Denise for an answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So through you, so that is correct. We weren't disbanded, but because the meeting was canceled, and I will just for reference, I wasn't here at the time of that meeting, so I was on leave of absence. So there was actually a report to the committee for the committee meeting, but because the committee meeting was canceled, that report was turned into a council report and went direct to council, because otherwise we wouldn't have met the timelines under the Ontario Heritage Act to process it within a reasonable time. And just as a reminder, if we don't process applications within a reasonable time, the Heritage Act is pretty punitive to us, meaning that if we don't say yes or no within the 90 days, right? I'm not making that up. Okay, the 90 days, it's assumed it's approved. So if we wanted to add any conditions, and in this particular case, we did have a condition of approval that we wanted to make sure was added. It had to go directly to council in that timeframe, because there was no opportunity to have the Heritage Committee. I think it is one of the struggles of now realizing we have to meet these timelines a little bit more within, if there is no quorum, that's going to become a problem. So I think in that particular one, we didn't have quorum. I don't think it's an ongoing issue, but it's just on us as staff to make sure we're processing quickly. And I know that question had come up, during our training, like how do we know we're processing it in a timely manner and making sure we're meeting all those things. When we deem that application complete in the sense that everything that we've asked for is there, we have to process the application from that point. That's the clock starting. And so the 90 days begins. So in this particular one, I think the report outlines that some of that, but if it goes back to say July or August, we wouldn't have met our timelines if we were waiting to this meeting, for example.
Yes, thank you for that, Denise. And yes,
Uh,
please go ahead.
I apologize, Mr. Chairman. My question wasn't clear. I absolutely agree with Denise, and this is a system that's been used and been successful forever that I know anyway. No, my question was in your report from the staff on the minor permits delegated report, the wording is rather strange. It says went directly to council due to the cancellation of the committee. Is there just a word missing there or something? Because that
I see
that
what you're
caused
saying,
my
yes.
confusion that are we just transitionary to January? Are we actually a committee?
I think it may have been a wording. I know.
It's
Denise
just
got her hand up.
a wording that was missed. Okay, that's fine then.
think so.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Denise. I put you through all that explanation because I totally agree with this, and I think it was. I mean, we don't have any power. We just are there to do research and advise if we find an issue with the public. Council, of course, makes a decision, so this would just be eliminating a step that really wasn't needed if staff had done research too.
Mhm, that's correct.
So I apologize. My question wasn't clear.
Perfectly fine, Jan. Thank you. Did you have a comment for Denise?
Yeah, thank you for that, Mr. Chair. So if you read, and I haven't scrolled to the part that that we're talking about here specifically, and I can just picture it in my mind. So it's just a typing error. So if you look at the executive summary, it reads, a further note is that one application, and I only put it in there just for reference, the committee would have a chance to kind of understand that something had happened and there was that process in case they missed it. But a further note is that one application file HER 07-2024 went directly to council when the Heritage Committee meeting was canceled in October 2024. So if it, in the second part where we go into more detail, it wasn't clear, I apologize. It's probably just, a hurried sentence.
No, perfectly fine. Denise, thank you. And if I may comment with regards to the 6 Parker Street East permit application, we had a pretty fulsome discussion at council with that back and forth, and I was satisfied with the outcome of that. And I feel that what we had approved as a council would have been in line with what the committee would have recommended anyway. So I was happy with that. Very good. Any other questions with regards to any of the items under the minor permit under delegated approval? No? Okay, wonderful. And so we don't need to vote to accept this. This is just for information purposes. So that's correct? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Next, number 8, we have committee inquiries. Do we have anybody here at the table that has any inquiries they'd like to bring forth? Go ahead, Sue. Thank you.
Sorry, through you, the chair. I'm going to add Denise's comments from the beginning of the meeting to here instead of at the very beginning.
I see.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's perfect. And that makes complete sense. Yeah,
Yes.
Sue, thank you very much for that. Wonderful. So we don't have any inquiries at the table here, so that's great. So let's see, in communications, we have nothing on the communications list. I will read out what we have here just so the public is aware of what we're looking at. For communications, the committee will consider correspondence received by members of the public during each meeting. To share your comments, thoughts, or concerns with the members of the committee, the public can send an email to clerk@meaford.ca. When emails are received to this email address, they will be compiled into a correspondence list, which is then distributed to the committee members prior to the meeting. The cover sheet of this list will be included on each meeting agenda. The contents of the correspondence list are not included on the public agenda to protect the privacy and personal information of those residents who choose to send in their thoughts and their comments. And we have nothing on our communications list for today. And moving to number 10, date of the next meeting is to be determined. So Sue, you have something to say? Go ahead, please.
Through you, Mr. Chair. I actually do have the date for the next meeting. It's Wednesday, February 12th.
Wednesday, February 12th. I'll make a
I just
note of
got that today, so.
Wonderful. Breaking news. Love it. Thank you. All right. Great. So before we wrap up, any other comments? Anybody have any questions or comments they want to know? Okay. Well, this might be a record for Heritage Advisory Committee meetings. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out this afternoon, and for those that are watching online, thank you very much. And with that, I will conclude today's meeting. Thank you.